Namaste. Welcome to our continuing series Questions and Answers from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today's subject is Consciousness, Part 18. From Sri Aurobindo. No, without sadhana, the object of yoga cannot be attained. Work itself must be taken as part of sadhana. But naturally, when you are working, you must think of the work, which you will learn to do from the yogic consciousness as an instrument and with the memory of the divine. It is because the energy is put forward in the work, but as the peace and contact grow, a double consciousness can develop. One engaged in the work, another behind, silent and observing or turned towards the divine. In this consciousness, the aspiration can be maintained even while the external consciousness is turned towards the work. One can both aspire and attend to the work and do many other things at the same time when the consciousness is developed by yoga. If one feels a consciousness not limited by the work, a consciousness behind supporting that which works, then it is easier. That usually comes either by the wideness and silence fixing and extending itself, or by the consciousness of a force, not oneself working through the worker. I repeat that we do not object to your writing, whether it be poetry or short stories or novels. What we felt was that this kind of total absorption and possession by it was not good for your spiritual condition, and that it put a lesser thing in front, even occupying the whole front of the consciousness for most of the time, instead of putting it in its proper place in a sound spiritual harmony. You can try writing a novel if you like. The difficulty is that the subject matter of a novel belongs mostly to the outer consciousness, so that a lowering or externalizing can easily come. This apart from the difficulty of keeping the inner poise when putting the mind into outer work. If you could get an established poise within, then it would be possible to do any work without disturbing or lowering the consciousness. It depends upon the plasticity of the consciousness. Some are like that. They get so absorbed they don't want to come out or do anything else. One has to keep a certain balance by which the fundamental consciousness remains able to turn from one concentration to another with ease. The absorption in work is not undesirable, but the difficulty in turning inwards can only be temporary. A certain plasticity in the physical consciousness, which is sure to come, makes it easy to turn from one concentration to another. The resistance you speak of, and the insufficient receptivity, and the inability to continue in communion while doing work, must all be due to some part of the physical consciousness that is still not open to the light. Probably something in the vital physical and the material subconscient which stands in the way of the physical mind being in its mass free and responsive. There is no necessity of losing consciousness when you meditate. It is the widening and change of the consciousness that is essential. If you mean going inside, you can do that without losing consciousness. It is a certain inertia in the physical consciousness which shuts it up in the groove of what it is doing, so that it is fixed in that and not free to remember.